to another exciting episode of the J&J Show. I am Jay, Josh, he is,
John?
and today is day one of our journey into the Cinaverse. I was really excited about this day because this is my day, if you will. So what I brought along, in case you guys didn't catch the description of the entire Cineverse weekend journey, um, I brought the Avengers, I brought Winter Soldier, and these are in order: Avengers, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, Civil War, Thor Ragnarok, and Infinity War. Now, obviously, there's a finite amount of time within a day, wouldn't you say, John?
Absolutely. Almost fatiguing at some points.
Yes. We tried our best to plan intermissions and this, that, and the other properly. Obviously, this was our very first journey into something like this, and I'm so glad I found the perfect co-pilot to experience this with in Real Max. Not IMAX, Real Max.
Real Max.
Bitches don't even know.
No, I have no
Just
idea.
no fucking idea. So,
No idea.
without further ado, guys, we're going to be rating these movies 1 through 5 for now. We're working on a more entertaining rating scale. But for now, it'll be 1 through 5. And yeah, we'll play with it and discuss it along the way. But to
Right.
start off, movie number 1. About what time did we start? About 9 a.m. give or take. I mean, we had breakfast and
Yeah,
everything too, so
yeah, I think so. I think so.
um
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, but I am.
And we did our thing to get our focus on, tunnel vision and everything else, the shades, the whole character. The first movie was Marvel's The Avengers, the first one.
Yes, sir.
And man, that was by far that honestly was the best experience of the day. It truly was. It may not have been the best movie of the day, quality wise. I mean, and we'll rate all of these movies after we describe them and how we felt about them at the very end. More or less a ranking.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, sounds good. Avengers by far was we started it off the bang, and it was a bang. That movie, whoever was in charge of the home product did a fantastic job with that movie. The
Absolutely.
the 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 video was great. Um, by far, this is Josh Whedon's best work, hands down.
Yep.
Okay, I mean that's
Yep.
clearly his best work.
Yep.
Uh, the sound, I mean, it was mixed very well. It had a good pan across a really good. The dynamics were there. It was very impulsive. It was spot on as far as the sound. I was impressed with every aspect of the movie. Really, they brought it.
Oh
They
yeah.
brought it for that movie.
From the way it's shot, the way it sounds, the overall presentation, and
Yes, yes,
oh man, yeah.
yes.
I mean, the movie itself has flaws, but dude, like when you're in that film, and again, it's Real Max.
Real Max.
There's almost nothing like it. It truly is, and I have a
It
sailor's mouth, so I'm gonna say it's fucking phenomenal the way it sounds.
day.
Greatest? Is it the greatest movie ever produced? Probably not, but dude, for these comic book movies, mm,
It,
mm,
it's
mm.
it is definitely one of Marvel's best,
Yes, if not the
no
best.
doubt,
But
if not the best.
we'll
And
see
we'll
as we
get that
go
later.
along throughout
Yes,
these couple days.
yes,
Now, again, There are a lot of movies in the MCU catalog. These now, I only brought MCU movies. Keep that in mind. Uh, for those who don't know, there are a lot of other movies out there that I could have brought, like the original Fantastic Fours, the Blade movies, the Daredevil. We weren't trying to do that. MCU
Right.
was the proper tool, and this was the proper start off. Man, fucking
It
fantastic.
it
But
it delivered across the board. It really set the bar as far as home video value.
yes,
Uh,
bang for their
it,
buck.
it,
But
it showed. It showed really the movie itself. I'm sure all of us have seen it. Okay, so we're not really discussing the movie per se. We're discussing how it made us get involved with those scenes,
mhm,
and it really delivered on that in that aspect compared to some of the other stuff we've seen that we'll discuss here in the future.
yeah, it's
It,
you fit like to give kind of the scale, right? Man, the whole scene from the moment a mind control Hawkeye starts taking over the helicarrier, all that whole action sequence and beyond. I mean, just knocks your fucking socks off. Like you are standing there on the helicarrier as like Stark is forcing the fucking turbines and that kind of deal, and you see him saying like, Cap, leave her now. I need a minute here, and
yeah,
he's fucking hanging like you're there, and
yeah. The, the sense of realism was definitely very, very real with everything that came together. It was truly the bar. It truly set it, and
oh,
it was hard to beat.
and to top it off, we did that one in 3D because I didn't even know I had the 3D one.
That's
But I
correct.
believe
That's
you
correct.
also had a copy, so I mean, we had to
Yes,
try it out.
yes.
I'm
Had
not
to
a big
try it out.
fan of 3D. Just to throw that in there, Real Max changes your mind. Let me tell
It
you that
does.
right now.
The real max changed your
Holy
mind.
shit. Um, I mean, long story short though, and we will rate these as in order as we viewed
Hmm.
them at the end of each conversation about the film. But
Yes,
long story short, yeah, that set the bar for the day,
it
and
did.
I don't think we even realized what we were
No,
about to get into. So
no.
let's, fast forward after, the brief intermission that we had into Winter Soldier, which is arguably the best MCU movie, period. Now, that can be discussed at a point later on, maybe whenever we, jump back into that series of Marvel
Sure.
versus DC. But, excuse me, as a movie, Winter Soldier is it's yeah, definitely still probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. But again, now
Winners. Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, long story short, Winter Soldier just there was something missing.
Dynamics is what was missing.
Hmm.
Okay, there was a sense of realism. The audio engineer. I'm going to say it. I guess the audio engineer just did not put in the effort that Avengers had, the first Avengers, and it definitely puts things in perspective because Avengers was spot on. If you look at Civil War, the movie itself, I mean, I'm sorry, Civil War, Winter Soldier. If you look at Winter Soldier itself, that's almost like a standalone movie. Okay, it does
Oh, it more or less feels exactly like that. Yeah, no doubt about it.
you know it doesn't need anything else. I mean, that was a good open and closed chapter of the MCU franchise.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, in regard to the audio replication. It just wasn't there because it was not on the source material.
Absolutely. Like it,
It
it
was
and
missing.
it showed
It showed.
hardcore. Like after you set a bar like that with Avengers,
It
and
does.
it now thank God the movie itself was still,
It carried you. It
yeah,
carried you.
it had to carry you, man, because
It did.
this was long story I don't think it was as disappointing as some of the next films we're going to discuss, particularly the next one.
Hmm.
But it, yeah, it it was definitely missing something. It was definitely missing the dynamics. It didn't. I mean, you felt it. It does have to me, it has one of the best scores to any MCU movie. It's probably the one of the only ones that I really remember. That's another MCU problem, but we'll save that for another discussion
Right.
another day. But
Right.
overall production, I mean, not bad. Visually, it I mean,
Everything was good except for the sound.
except for the sound. Yep, exactly.
Everything was good. It's like having a great cake with bad icing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
I mean, really.
mhm.
This is
Like,
good cake, but this icing is awful.
yeah, and it just throws off the entire
Yeah,
experience.
it does. A great beer that's warm. I mean,
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean,
That's the worst. That's that's the absolute worst right there. Nobody wants a warm beer. Nobody wants a
nobody
warm
does.
beer.
No,
Um,
no.
but now we got to move on to
Yes.
this next what is man, people say Thor the Dark World was bad. When you experience things in real max, again, we didn't I didn't screen Thor the Dark World, so don't hate on me. But Age of Ultron. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was. What's the word I'm looking? It just did not catch it. There are certain and there are certain points in a movie to where all of a sudden you're it's like a mental fishing hook, and it grabs you, it pulls you in, and it keeps you there. There
Hmm.
was nothing in Ultron to even lure you in. Nothing. It truly was a waste opportunity.
Like, and let me tell you how much of a wasted opportunity it brought us. We didn't even get 15 minutes. Like, I think we got to the title intro and we said no.
It wasn't worth my bulb life.
Yes, no. It just,
It
yeah, it
just
wasn't.
wasn't.
That's a proper way to describe it. That's actually a very proper way to describe it. Um, it just, honest to God, and the movie itself, you know, did we give it a fair showing? No, but
Yes,
yeah, we
we
gave it a
did.
fair show. Actually, no,
We did.
for what we were doing on this Cine journey in the Cineverse.
It did not grab us. It was like a
Yeah,
roller coaster that just broke down.
yeah. It it
You know,
it just fell off the rails before it even
it
got
did.
up the hill.
It did. Everything about it just wasn't. There's a word I'm looking for. Captivating, I guess is what it is. It just didn't grab you. It
It was
just wasn't
empty.
there. Yeah,
It was
hollow.
very hollow. Yeah,
Yes,
it's very
yes.
hollow, and it, like, man, and I hate it, dude, because, and again, Josh Whedon's second thing, but that a lot of people will say that's the movie that broke him. We can see why.
Well,
Um, we'll
yeah,
yeah,
and I agree with that because he had a lot of pressure on him to match or beat Avengers 1, which hasn't happened yet.
no, no,
Is
no.
what it is.
Yep,
Which is what it is.
you know,
You know that was his Watchmen. Really, if you look at it, That was, I think, his best work.
Oh yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
I mean, the now don't get me wrong, it visually looked good. The color
I
grading
mean,
was
it
great.
looked good. It definitely wasn't Avengers. It
No,
definitely
no,
wasn't Civil War. Like
no,
there's something about it. Like that movie genuinely felt rushed and just
rushed.
not well put together at all. Like just not.
Marvel had a timetable they had to meet, and it clearly showed.
Yep. You know,
Clearly,
and it is what it is. It makes
it
for a
is what it
great
is.
TV movie. Check it out in your next like browsing of TNT or whatever the case may be. But you know,
It's
that's
some,
an
it's yeah, it's something to put on when you're washing dishes or doing laundry,
yeah,
and you just want to hear and you just
background
want to hear the
noise.
character's voice. Exactly, exactly.
It's like the you know last four Transformer films, all
Oh,
garbage. But that's a whole different conversation. We'll save for
yes,
a totally different day.
yes.
On
Agreed,
to movie
agreed.
three, Civil War. And you're not a fan of this film as it stands. I am a fan. It's not my favorite. Uh, it does feel like an Avengers like 2.5. But
Well, see here's a rumor to that movie.
mhm.
Jeff Johns is a DC writer. He's big into Green Lanterns like that. But rumor is he's the one who leaked the BVS script to Marvel, and that's why they made and rushed Civil War to compete with BVS. Because BVS was a long term production way before Civil War, and it looked to me like Civil War was another rushed Marvel movie, and I was never a fan of it. I mean, it had some cool scenes here and there. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, the airport scene is definitely the best scene in the entire movie. Matter of fact, no, from
I
where they
think
get
so.
where you finally meet Peter Parker, this new iteration.
Yes.
Tom Holland praise, man. God love you.
I mean,
Oh,
clearly, Black Panther and Spider Man stole that movie every time they were on screen. My opinion,
yes.
but the movie itself just it was missing. It was missing a lot to really get. It wasn't Avengers. It wasn't Winter Soldier. Uh, and it didn't sound good. It
That
didn't sound
that's
good.
that's that's the that's the killer part.
You know,
Now,
you have to have good sound to pull you in.
yeah, I mean, um, it could look great visually all day long, but if you can't hear certain things and you can't really interpret the scene as it should be, then you're just missing out.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
now, bear in mind, those of you who just have a sound bar at home, this is gonna sound fine and it's gonna look
yeah.
fine because you have an
Right.
HD TV and everything. But when you're in real max, it's just
Yeah. If it's a bad source, you're going to know it.
yep.
Uh, the Civil War, it had a very closed soundstage. It wasn't very broad and open.
Yeah,
Like
and you can
Avengers,
tell the
you could hear
difference.
miles. Oh, 100%.
Like like
100%.
it was incredible. It
Yeah.
truly was. Like man, though I'm starting to agree with you by the way that Spider-Man and Black Panther when they are on screen, they fucking own it.
They did. They commanded attention.
That being said, Cap still does the same thing. And again,
He
it is
does.
still his
He
movie, but
does.
but
He
again,
does.
and then there's Robert Downey Jr. Like so, it's still it's not the worst MCU movie by any
No,
stretch. No.
that's not the worst.
Um, but it's again we started off with the Avengers, um, and that just like dude, that shit was nasty. And
It was.
now
It was, man. We
let
were
it be
so
known,
pumped for that.
folks. I failed on this one. We didn't get to finish Civil War. We were giving it a fair chance, and we got a lot further than Age of Ultron. I'll tell you that. But
Yes.
unfortunately, I effed it up.
No, it's not about whose fault it was. I was ready to pull a plug any moment, regardless, because it just didn't pull me in. Not like Avengers did, and not like what we're about to talk about either. It it,
Yeah.
it, it just it just it was missing something.
Yes.
It was kind of, I mean, I'm not hating on it. It has some cool scenes, but it just seemed like another Marvel. We got a timetable. Let's get it out, and that's what they did.
Yep. Yeah. 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 Long story short, that's it is what it is. But the
It
next
is what it
film,
is.
moving
This was
on
a shocker. This was the shocker for me.
for I love this film. It's definitely in my top five. I think as far as the MCU films,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
and I'm glad you got to experience it and really enjoy it this time
I did.
around. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thor Ragnarok, and man, was this such a fun. Okay. Production wise, it doesn't sound totally amazing. The soundtrack though makes up for so much of that.
Best score of the day.
It's fun. It's
It's fun.
different. It's it's totally badass, man.
It was, Zeppelin's in it. Can't argue Zeppelin. Uh,
Ow!
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Dude,
I mean,
it's
it was
yeah,
great. I mean, it was a surprising movie, and when I saw it on my regular TV, it's like, just another, But seeing it in the real Max, man, it was just a whole different. Everything you watch, obviously, is a different experience.
yep,
But this really made me appreciate that movie much more. Uh, Rightfully so, because that you can clearly tell this one was not rushed. Okay, they had a lot more time to make this presentation. Everything was good. I mean, there was a couple of comedy uh, jokes that I didn't like, but it didn't kill the movie for me at all.
yeah.
Not like watching it on a smaller
They
screen.
were still genuinely funny, and it wasn't enough to pull you out of that experience. And
Right,
it
right,
just like
right,
I'm with you. Like there were certain jokes like I'm not gonna go into any particular one because again, like
right.
you could have. Oh man, it it was just a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun. Piss
It
off,
was.
Ghost.
It
You know,
was. It was great. That turned me around. I do like that. I've already pre-ordered it. It's in my shopping cart. I'm going to get it. I will have repeat viewings of that movie because you did sell me that and it worked. Because I was a hater. I didn't like it, but now I have an appreciation for that movie because
see,
it was good.
and let it be known that we both know that Ragnarok, like in the comics, was like this hardcore event. But I'm actually quite proud of the way Marvel was able to take something so very serious, give it well probably one of the lightest feels in all of it, but in comparison to the comics to film, like in the MCU, it's its own universe, man, and you kind of needed that because what follows especially like visually is but we'll discuss that
Yes,
when we
yes,
visit day 2. Unfortunately,
yes.
we didn't fit all the movies that I brought for my day in, but we also didn't know exactly what we were getting into.
No, we did not.
We
We
did
had
get
some
better throughout the
obstacles.
day. Yeah, we had
We,
some
we
obstacles. um it just yeah, it just man, I think we ended up finishing. Uh, just so you know, I think we did a solid 12 hours, 11 to 12 hours or something like
yeah,
that, give or take.
yeah. It was
Um,
good.
I think I went to bed that night at like 9:30. You
Yeah,
know,
something like that,
like it
man.
was stupid early, man. Like you just couldn't go anymore. But long story short, that film was a great way to close out the day.
It
It
was.
truly
It
was.
started great. It started great and it ended great. Everything in between, but yeah, the start and climax was fantastic.
Yep.
I was overall I was very very happy with what I experienced as far as Ragnarok, man. I mean, it really really surprised me. I was really baffled of how much I turned around on that one.
It was, yeah. It was. I'm glad that I brought that one. My only other redeeming one that I was hoping to have brought in, but it would probably just have been right after Civil War, or not Civil War, but Winter Soldier, and we would have just done the first three films would have been the best films of the day. And it's not now, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm an MCU guy. If you can't tell, yeah. Uh, this the movies, the whole journey. That's a different experience. Remember, we were doing this for everything that the movie is. The sound, the visuals, the way it makes you feel, this, that, and the other. Bear that in mind.
Yes, the
Um,
audio video stimulation,
yes, right there.
bringing you into that movie.
We want
It
to
all
be on set,
yes, you
more or
want to be
less.
a fly on that wall or
Right there.
part of it.
Perfect
And
description.
you have to be a part of that motion picture experience. And it's hard to do. And what else another issue is that you will be part of it and you won't even realize it and all of a sudden something will happen and it'll derail you and bring you out of it.
Hmm.
We'll talk about that later because this happened
Yep.
during that weekend.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
it's pretty
And
fascinating.
just look forward to, if you enjoyed this, the whole Marvel talk, and you want to know more about Marvel movies, stay tuned to day two, and
Yes. Yes.
we'll go more into that. But all right, John, you have
Yes.
anything more to add? Final points on any of these
We,
films before we
we got
start rating them, man?
no. I think we're ready to do the ratings.
Yep. All right, folks. Avengers. I think we. I'm gonna give it a five. I have
Out
to
of
give it a
what?
five.
Five?
Yeah, five
Five
out
out
of
of
five.
five?
I mean, it's a 5 out of 5,
Yeah.
man. It,
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
especially for day one, it's just the bee's knees, dude. It
It
truly
is.
is.
It
Um,
set the bar.
yep. Set the tone,
It
set the
would
bar, it
it
set everything, really.
my opinion,
Hmm.
and I'm not an MCU guy, you know that, but I
Yeah.
appreciate what they've done. It is the best MCU package to date.
Yep. You get everything in one. Honestly, get
Everything.
everything in one.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
now, Winter Soldier. What are you gonna give that one? Because that's hard to.
I, I got to give it a 4.5, and the only reason why it's not a 5 is because of the lack of sound presentation.
The lack of dynamics. I don't think
Yeah.
it sounded disgusting or anything. Like, it
No,
still
that wasn't
sounded good. It
disgusting,
meant, yeah. It was
but
definitely closer to Avengers than Age of Ultron and
yes,
Civil War was. Bear that in mind. I'm
agreed,
with you. Like, cause
agreed.
I'm rating it the same way. A 4 out of 5. Like, 4.5 out of 10. That's, or
Yeah,
I'm sorry, 4.5 out of 5. Um,
yeah.
yeah, totally. I mean, still such a great film, man. Like, who knew that the MCU would pop out with something like that? Damn near.
Again, it's truly a standalone movie. I mean, it
Yeah.
really was a good story, great action. Uh, I mean, they knocked it out.
Yep.
It's just in the
Missing that
home
one little.
delivery
Yep.
one little aspect,
Yep.
which is monumental.
Yep. I could not agree more.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
but the next film, Age of Ultron. Now that's, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I want to give this something higher than like a 2.5, but I'm giving it a 2. Like,
I
visually,
was
it's
thinking,
there, but no, go ahead.
no, I was thinking 2.5 myself,
Yeah, I
easily.
mean,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
it's around there. And I'm
I
not hating. I'm
no, it's
bashing.
not
It's
hating.
just it
Yeah,
is what it is.
it's still a decent movie. Like a matter of fact, it's probably one of the most important movies in the MCU, with as
Yeah,
much information as in there. But
agreed.
like, dude, when you're there in the real Max, like it's just not worth the time.
It's not.
It's just not.
It's not.
Um. All right. Civil War. I'd say this is a little bit better. I'd give it like a three and a half.
I'll
Um,
give it a 3. I'll go
uh,
with a 3.
yeah, I think it's.
I'll go with a
I,
3.
I'll go with three. Yeah, because
I'll,
I wanted something more. I needed more bite, and it just again, it
yes,
not only
bite.
feels rushed,
Yes.
but then there's it. Nah, it's just kind of a tease, and it doesn't get you in, man. Visually, it's wonderful, and again, there are great scenes, but it's just not there.
Yeah, it's like a pizza that just isn't cooked all the way through.
Yep, yep,
You know?
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Um,
Yeah.
and our final movie, Thor Ragnarok.
Man,
I
bro, I'm giving it. Go ahead. Go
no
ahead.
no 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 no. I want to hear you because I love the film, and this just kind of
Man, I got to give it a 4.5.
I'm right.
You
Damn
know, I
you.
mean, really,
Yeah,
I got. If again, there was a Joker 2 that I just didn't like, but
it wasn't enough to destroy that
overall,
experience.
not at all. Not at all. Everything else kept it going. The sound was better. It wasn't Avengers good, but it was better.
Hmm.
Again, you could tell. You clearly could tell that they had more time to put into this movie, and
And
it
more
shows.
love too. Like
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
gonna lie. Like I know love gets thrown around everywhere and this, that, and the other. But like, dude, you have to love a product to really care. And like that's what Ragnarok. It feels like a love affair with Thor. Like the first two films, dude,
Yeah, yeah,
they're there. I mean, they're fine. But
yeah,
this makes Thor
yeah.
the fucking man.
I agreed. Agreed.
And shout
Agreed.
out
It
to
was
Ruffalo, by the way. Like
good.
as the Hulk, like he's just
You
like
bad
Bruce Banner.
friend.
Yeah, yeah. No, no team, only Hulk. Fucking just and
You smallest Avenger.
you. Yeah, like fucking yeah. You tiny Avenger. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what they call you under? They call you the stupid Avenger. And he just fucking pouts. It's so great, man. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah. It was good. It was good.
like I know
Good.
Hulk isn't that way, but this was such a anyway. Long story short, all right, guys, thank you for tuning in. We have to get out of here. He's got shit to do. I got shit to do. It's been a blast. Thank you for
Yes, it
tuning
has.
in. If
Thank
you
you.
like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, go ahead and hit the thumbs down. I hope
Yeah.
you find
You
something
know
else
what?
that you enjoy.
Tell us what you didn't like. But this is just the start of many more adventures.
Yes,
We
just the
we've
very
got
beginning.
a very beginning. We got Star Wars coming. We got Lord of the Rings coming. We got some pretty big heavy hitter franchises that we're going to dig into.
Absolutely. And I hope you guys look forward to them. Um, and if you didn't like this video, hopefully you like another video on this channel or future channels. Stay tuned.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out.
Have a good night.